dirty money. You heard? I do it. I do it for fun. Like, I mean, I just do it because I can. Like, I only rap because I'm good at it. Like, really. You know what I'm saying? It really was a hobby for a minute. But then, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, look at the state of hip-hop. Like, what's going on?
In the beginning, there was silence. Then, there was a voice that refused to be ignored. From the sun-soaked shores of Trinidad to the concrete jungle of Queens, from basement studios to sold-out arenas, a legend was forged in fire. But legends are never simple. They're built on whispers and war cries, on broken dreams and shattered glass ceilings, on secrets that the world isn't ready to hear. Some know her as the queen of hip-hop. Others call her controversial. A few dare to whisper revolutionary. This is not just a story of fame. This is the story of transformation, of a girl who became a myth, of Annika, who became Nicki Minaj. The question isn't who she is. The question is, how many people live inside one legend? Every legend begins with a secret. Annika Tanya Marriage's secret was survival. Born in Trinidad in 1982, she learned early that the world doesn't hand you anything. Her father's addiction cast shadows over her childhood, shadows that would later birth some of her most powerful alter egos. At 5 years old, she crossed an ocean to Queens, New York. But crossing water doesn't wash away the past. It follows you. It shapes you. It becomes the fire that either burns you or forges you into something unstoppable. In the halls of LaGuardia High School, the same halls that birthed legends before her, something stirred. Not just talent, something deeper. A hunger that couldn't be satisfied by ordinary dreams. Roman, Barbie, the Haruyuku. These weren't just personalities, they were armor. Each voice a shield against a world that tried to put her in a box she was never meant to fit in. 2007, 2008, 2009, the mixtape years. Playtime is over. Sucker Free, Beam Me Up Scotty. Each release like a message in a bottle, thrown into an ocean of indifference, hoping someone would find it. Someone did find it. His name was Lil Wayne. And when he heard that voice, those voices echoing from the underground, everything changed. In a world that didn't leave space for her, she didn't ask for permission. She created her own universe. And in 2009, that universe collided with ours. Young Money. Two words that would reshape hip-hop forever. Wayne, Drake, and now her. But this wasn't just about joining a crew. This was about proving that lightning could strike twice in the same place. That a label known for male dominance could house a queen. Bedrock, Right Through Me, Your Love. Each feature was a declaration of war against every rule that said she didn't belong. Then came Pink Friday, November 2010. The world wasn't ready. Super Bass wasn't just a song. It was a phenomenon. It was proof that she could wrap circles around anyone, then turn around and dominate pop radio. Critics called it impossible. She called it Tuesday. But here's where the story gets interesting. Was this rise inevitable? Was it destiny written in the stars above Trinidad? Or was it something more calculated, more deliberate? If you're drawn to stories like this, stories of transformation, of legends hiding in plain sight, don't forget to subscribe. Because the deeper we go into Nicki's world, the more questions arise. By 2011, she wasn't just a rapper who could sing. She wasn't just a pop star who could rap. She was something the industry had never seen before. Something they couldn't categorize. Something they couldn't control. And that's when the real challenges began. Every queen faces challengers to her throne. But none expected Nicki to fight back like this. Lil Kim, the original Queen Bee, the blueprint, the legend. And suddenly, there was talk of replacement, of succession, of a new generation taking over. But legends don't retire quietly. They fight. And what followed was a war of words that divided hip-hop into camps. Team Experience versus Team Evolution. Team Respect versus Team Revolution. The media watched like vultures circling fresh prey. Hot 97, BET Awards, Twitter fingers, and subliminal shots. Each interview a potential landmine.
It would have been any girl that started popping. You know, she
She picked a fight with Foxy, then she picked a fight with Eve, then she picked a fight with Remy. Now it's, then it was Miss Wallace, then it was Nicki Minaj. Every time you in the news, it's because you getting at somebody. Where's your music? You're gonna go down in history now as a sore loser, as opposed to going down in history as the queen.
Each song, a possible declaration of war. Then came the questions about her image. Too colorful, too sexual, too powerful, too much. Always too much for comfort. The pink wigs weren't just fashion, they were rebellion. The alter egos weren't just performance art, they were protection. Every controversy, every feud, every moment of criticism was another layer of armor she had to develop. Cardi B, the new challenger, the new threat. What started as sisterhood became speculation. What began as support became suspicious side eyes. And when the tension exploded at Fashion Week 2018, the world saw what happens when two queens occupy the same space. But they didn't see the bigger picture. They didn't see that this wasn't just about rap. This was about legacy, about who gets to write the history books. Miley Cyrus, Taylor Swift, the pop world's golden children questioning her methods, her message, her right to take up space. But here's what the critics never understood. Every challenge made her stronger. Every controversy made her more legendary. Every time they tried to break her crown, she just made it heavier. The question wasn't whether she could survive the battles. The question was whether the battles could survive her. Legends aren't built in moments. They're built in movements. And by the 2010s, Nicki wasn't just part of hip-hop culture. She was reshaping it. Caribbean rhythms from her roots. Pop sensibilities from her ambitions. Rap techniques that scholars would study for decades. She wasn't just crossing genres, she was erasing the lines between them. Look around today. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat, Ice Spice, each carrying pieces of a blueprint she wrote in pink ink and bold letters. But influence is more than imitation. It's about opening doors that were previously welded shut. It's about proving that success doesn't require choosing one lane. It's about showing the next generation that they can be everything at once. 2018, Queen, the album that reminded everyone why she earned that title. While others debated her relevance, she was charting new hits. While others questioned her longevity, she was breaking streaming records. There's so much more to uncover about icons like Nicki. Subscribe now and join us as we explore the untold stories behind music's greatest names. Because the deeper we dig, the more we realize the legend is still being written. Barbs, not just fans, disciples, not just supporters, a movement. Millions of voices united under one banner. The belief that being different isn't just acceptable, it's powerful. 2 decades later, the girl from Trinidad who moved to Queens has become something unprecedented. Not just a rapper, not just a pop star, not just an influencer, a cultural architect, a myth in motion. When the history books close, will Nicki be remembered for her battles or for the empire she built? Maybe that's the wrong question. Maybe the real question is, can legends ever truly be understood by the mortals who witnessed them? In the beginning, there was silence. Now, there's an echo that will reverberate forever. Nicki Minaj is not just a rapper, not just a star, not just a queen. She is proof that legends aren't born, they're forged. In the fire of rejection, in the furnace of criticism, in the heat of battles that lesser mortals would never dare to fight. Some call her controversial, others call her a visionary. But maybe the truth is stranger than either label can contain. Maybe she is what happens when talent meets trauma and refuses to break. Maybe she is what evolution looks like in real time. Maybe she is what the future sounds like when it crashes into the present. Or maybe she's all three at once. A contradiction that makes perfect sense. A question that is also the answer. The girl who became a myth. The voice that became a movement. The legend who is still becoming. Annika Tanya Marriage. Nicki Minaj. Roman. Barbie. The Harajuku Barbie. How many legends can live in one person? Maybe that's not the right question either. Maybe the question is, what happens when one person becomes legendary?